Oi. Shalom, 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 and shalom. Shabbat shalom. Didn't record last night. Just really didn't feel it was the right time. Iceland's still on a close approach to the sun. Weather's still getting screwy everywhere. India's been slammed again with another typhoon. Not within the season. Out of season, actually. Weather throughout the planet is growing unstable. Haven't checked the USGS, but I'm sure there's been earthquakes. None of that I've heard about. None I've heard. So, I actually think the Iceland's either going to get sucked in, which I give it about a 34% chance, a 34% chance of breaking up, and a 32% chance of making it around. In short, flip a coin. Yeah. But if it does impact, then we'll get a definitely high CMA. Sorry, CME. CME. I was thinking of something else. It's another term I deal with all day long. Yeah, we'll see. Anyhow, let's get to the course. Sorry, don't have them. Hang on. But the thing that Isa asked me to speak about is this. And I've been seeing nothing but this in my dreams. Well, that and Sarai. But anyhow, is the end of days. For some reason, that's important. Now more than ever. In the Protestant and Catholic belief systems, which I have been both in my life, they seem to believe that they're going to get mystically whisked away and not have to endure it. But if you go through the entire teaching from the time of Adam and Eve all the way to, say, present, this has never once occurred. When Isa was here and the church started getting formed, the Romans would seize every Christian they can find. And they would toss them into gladiatory games. In some cases, they would just crucify them or whatever they really wanted to do. They were deemed to be enemies of the state. Because they wouldn't do certain things that everybody else in the member of the state would. Because when you paid your taxes, there would be an image of Caesar, and you would have to pay homage to the statue of Caesar to pay your taxes. This is historical knowledge. What does the Word of God say? That you will worship and wonder about the beast. And you will take the mark in your right forehand or in your head, where you will not be able to buy or sell without it. Now, I did come across a Christian movie which, well, that was debunking most of it. But they did make one point that made more sense than anything else in the world. They're probably right on their one point that they made, as far as their perception of how it was going to work. Now, you get this chip embedded into your body, right? And you can't buy or sell without the mark. And you're supposed to worship the beast. So how are they going to do all that? I mean, I could be an atheist, right? Let's say I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Lucifer. I don't believe in any of that mess. Okay, just give me the mark. I'll go about my own business, my own way. Well, they will force the worship. And it was always bugging me how they might be able to do this. What they'll do is they'll come up to one world church, right? And I agree with my brother John. It's probably most definitely going to be the Roman Catholic Church. And it'll center it out of Rome, and Rome will control it. There's passages that seem to indicate the Roman Catholic Church's high involvement. There's also a prophecy, I'm probably mispronouncing it, sorry, because I don't have it in front of me, the Malachy prophecy, which has every single pope listed until you get to the last one, whom will be Peter Romulus, Petrus Romulus, Peter of Rome. And he will be a false pope. As we also remember, in the end days, there will be a false prophet. So yeah, there's one world religion. But it always bugged me. How are they going to get these people to actually do it? Because I know a bunch of atheists, and they'll say, okay, just give me the mark, whatever. I'll get it removed when your dumb ass is out of there. Right? I mean, that's what they would think, and that's what they would say. So how could a worldwide religion be forced on the masses? Knowing that without the chip, you can't buy or sell. The idea that they came up with, which does make sense, especially since my area of profession is in computers, more precisely databases, you would be annotated going into the church on whatever day that they choose, which would probably be Sunday. So you walk into the church, the chip is scanned, it knows you showed up. I'm not saying that you felt or believe what you're doing, that you showed up. They forced it. And they would be watching you while you're in there. So you would have to participate. Or your chip will not, your chip will be deactivated to the point where you cannot buy or sell. In other words, there's like in databases, there would be a true-false field or a binary bit field, which would be a 1 or a 0. And it will say, did said person attend services within last week? Yes or no? No, you can't buy or sell. So you go hungry. You'll starve. They'll get you by your own carnal nature. Thus, they will enforce worship. And worship is never meant to be enforced. Caught that. They're probably right. It makes logical sense. There's no biblical passages to say how it's going to be done, just that it will be done. But their perception and their analysis is probably adequate. If not correct, close. Thus they will enforce worship throughout the world, regardless of what you really think. They'll force you to do it, or you'll die. They'll kill you. And nobody will save you or anything else. I just got out from a restaurant I just left, and a pub or a guest house or whatever equivalent term to wherever you're from. I do that every Saturday and Sunday. Really wishing Sarai was there with me. Actually, I was wishing I was doing something else, like cooking it together with her. But, you know, everybody's got these desires. But anyhow, I saw something pop up on the news. A man had an argument with a coach at a high school football game, right? And the coach was black. The man has gotten sentenced $100,000 and has been sent to prison for 1 year because he's black. Called a hate crime. Now, I don't know the rest, but in the true use of the word hate crime, that would not qualify. Not by the intended reason that said laws were passed. It's being used, manipulated, changed, altered. These things will also be done in the days coming. To where if you do not agree, take the mark, worship the beast, then you will be perceived to be an enemy, a hateful person, an evil person, a loathsome person, a hater. A hater. Because they can sit there and say, well, we're trying to make God know that we're with him, yada, 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 yada. And his representative, his son, is on this world. And you are not proving to our Father that you are with us. You will be rounded up, placed into camps, tortured, mistreated. It's possible that you might be ambushed by supposed law enforcement, tortured, killed. It's possible that you'd be forced to either take the mark or they'll just kill you. And they'll have every reason to kill you at any stage of the way. They'll do the mass roundups first. And then they'll get the strays any way they can. And they'll put them all to death. And you may not make it to a camp. They can kill you before you ever see a gate. Before you ever see a gate. I'm going to put a link to a video below that's current affairs. Go ahead and take a look at it. See if this matches what has been foretold. I don't care what your belief system is. Does it match what has already been prophesied by the Judeo-Christian faith as what is to come? Take those steps and go to what has been said. As I said, it's all out there. It's not hidden. They're just pushing it to the side. They don't want you to know. The plan is in place. It's ready. It's beginning. This is the early stages of it going into place. And by the time they, I'm trying not to destroy my other thing. By the time they discover the Antichrist, all of this will be in place. It'd be nothing more than turning it on. That's all it'll take. That's all it'll be. That's all it'll be. We all have our worries. We all have our concerns. We all know what's coming. Sarai, it is time to come home. before it's too late. Everybody else, I wish you the best. There's some very hard times coming. Take care. Be blessed this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.